Order 65 was one of the contingency orders programmed into the clones' inhibitor chips, just like Order 66. However, instead of targeting the Jedi, this order commanded the clones to arrest or execute the Supreme Chancellor if deemed unfit to rule. It was likely put in place to balance out the secrecy of Order 66, should it ever be discovered. But what if the Jedi had acted first and executed Order 65 against Palpatine? Let's dive into this alternate Star Wars timeline. The Clone Wars were at their peak. Anakin Skywalker, recently appointed to the Jedi Council as the Chancellor's representative, was struggling with inner conflict. The war dragged on, and the Republic was starting to resemble an empire more than a democracy. Padme Amidala and the Loyalist Committee, a group of senators, were beginning to grow suspicious of Palpatine's increasing power. They planned to petition him to give up his emergency powers, but deep down, they feared he would refuse. At the same time, Anakin was growing closer to the Chancellor, seeking guidance on his nightmares about Padme's fate. Palpatine's tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise planted the seed of temptation in Anakin's mind, leaving him more vulnerable than ever. Meanwhile, the Jedi Council, suspecting Palpatine of ulterior motives, ordered Anakin to spy on him, further deepening his internal struggle. It was only a matter of time before the truth came to light. When Anakin confronted Palpatine, the Chancellor revealed himself as Darth Sidious, the Sith Lord orchestrating the war from behind the scenes. Torn between loyalty and duty, Anakin did what he thought was right. He reported Palpatine's true identity to the Jedi. Mace Windu, alongside Kit Fisto, Saesee Tiin, and Agen Kohler, prepared to confront Palpatine. However, before storming his office, Padme intervened, revealing that the Senate was also moving against Palpatine. If the Jedi took action alone, it could be framed as treason. Instead, they needed to use the system against him. That's when Anakin remembered something Captain Rex once told him: the existence of contingency orders embedded in the clones' programming. Rushing to the Jedi Temple's communication center, Anakin contacted Commander Fox of the Coruscant Guard. Representing the Jedi Council, the Senate, and the Chancellor's office, Anakin, Windu, and Padme issued Order 65. The clones immediately shifted, their programming overriding any hesitation. Fox simply responded, "Yes, sir." The order was in motion. Across Coruscant, hundreds of clone troopers stormed the Chancellor's office. Palpatine, expecting Jedi, instead saw his own army turning against him. He realized the terrible irony. His own contingency plan was now being used to bring about his downfall. But he would not surrender easily. As the clones rushed in, Palpatine ignited his crimson blade, unleashing a deadly storm of Sith lightning and precise lightsaber strikes. He cut through the first wave of clones with ease, deflecting blaster bolts and using the Force to throw troopers aside. But the numbers were against him. Mace Windu and Anakin arrived at the scene as clone reinforcements pinned Palpatine down. Windu ordered the clones to stand back as he engaged in a fierce duel with the Sith Lord. Their sabers clashed violently, illuminating the darkened office with each strike. Anakin stood at the threshold watching, conflicted. He could feel the dark side's pull. Palpatine still held knowledge that could save Padme. Despite his immense power, Palpatine was outmatched. As Windu gained the upper hand, Palpatine, realizing he was losing, attempted to sway Anakin, pleading for help. But this time, things were different. The Senate, the clones, and the Jedi were united against him. There was no Order 66 to save him. With one final strike, Windu disarmed Palpatine and incapacitated him with a surge of Force energy. The Sith Lord was defeated. Palpatine was taken into custody, stripped of his emergency powers, and exposed as a Sith. Without his manipulation, the Clone Wars ended swiftly. The Senate, now free from his influence, worked to restore the Republic's democratic foundations. The Jedi remained guardians of peace, though they recognized the flaws in their order and began reforms. As for Anakin Skywalker, without Palpatine's deception, he remained with the Jedi, eventually rising to the rank of Master. His nightmares persisted, but with Padme by his side and the Jedi's guidance, he found another path. One not clouded by darkness. This alternate timeline shows how fragile the balance of power was in the final days of the Republic. A single decision could have changed everything. If the Jedi had executed Order 65, they could have stopped the Sith before it was too late. But history, as we know, took a darker turn. Would this timeline have led to a better future for the galaxy? Or would the Republic have crumbled under a different kind of corruption? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.